Man, someone wrote in with the best question. You ready for it? I don't think you are, but nonetheless, can't stop you from watching this, but I would if I could, trust me.
A better you starts today.
Here's the question. My God, I'm going to read it out because I think that this is something that a lot of you are struggling with. And if you're not, that's great. Can't fault you. Good for you. Here's the question though. It's from some moon. And he wrote, after listening to your advice, how do I actually apply it? You do it, you fucking moron. I keep sitting around knowing I should be doing something, but I'm seemingly satisfied just for knowing that, yet I'm still not getting anything done. Well, there's many answers to that one question. Multifaceted, if you will. It's actually quite complicated. The first one is the fact that you are sitting around smug with the fact that I know what I should be doing. That's the first stage of learning, right? Does everyone know what these... Well, it's not the first stage of learning, but pretty much this is what it is, right? This is the stages. You always need to know this. If you don't know them off by heart, you need to write them down. First off, there is unconscious incompetence. That's I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and I don't even know that it exists, right? Then there's conscious incompetence, which is I now know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm still doing the wrong thing. That's you, Mr. Moon, right there. You're better than them, you know? If this were bloody handball at school, you'd be in the Prince Square. Is that what it was called? Can't even fucking remember anymore. Jesus. Kevin Rudd, if he was here, he'd clip me over the years just saying like, that's ace, dunce. Oh no, wait, that's this top one, whatever. Why is that the top one? Why is that more than a king? What a card that has an A on it. Unbelievable, these children with their wild fantasies. Anyway, stay tuned because we're going to be doing a video on how to harness the wild fantasies of children. God, that sounds evil, doesn't it? You just open up their brain. So, that is the first stage of your question, which is that good. I'm very glad to hear that because you even knowing that you're doing the wrong thing is far ahead of the vast majority of human beings who will never pick up a self-help book and will say snarky comments on Reddit all the time, which anxious me to no end. In fact, I think we're doing an entire series about that. Let me know. If you see particularly stupid comments on Reddit about self-help, send them this way. We're just going to roast them, as they say on YouTube. And the reason we're going to roast them is because, fuck you. Stop making fun of it. This is life-changing stuff. But anyway, Mr. Moon, you're better than those losers. That's what I'm saying. And that's huge. And you should be celebrating that. That is a big, big win. Anyway, then the final stage is unconscious incompetence, which is it is just so internalized what you have learned that you just automatically do it. The fact that you are punishing yourself in the first place, and this applies to you at home, if you are punishing yourself for not applying one of these things, that's the first step. Good for you. The second thing is, there is no way that you could apply everything that I'm talking about on Jordan Shanks. Yeah? You should know it. It should be in the back of your head just in case you're going through life. I need to gut a salmon. Oh, that's right. I remember Friendly Geordie's How to Gut a Fish in 6 seconds or less self-help advice. You should have it for that, but on a day-to-day basis, there is no way that you're going to remember all of these things. Neither am I. This is all just because it's going to resonate with certain people at certain points because of the problems that they're currently facing in their life. That's why you can never stop hammering these things in. On top of that, a lot of it is just repetitive. But anyway, let's just put those two very inconvenient things for my channel growth aside. And you should just note that I'm not applying all of the stuff that I learn in self-help on a day-to-day basis. You can't. There's too much. There's too much life advice. There's too many things that the brain just forgets all the time, and that's just fine. Yeah? You just have to accept that the very fact that you're kind of sitting there saying, I'm a piece of shit and I don't do anything with my life, and all these other people are just applying things much better than I am. Good. Just know that that's your new norm, okay? It's like when a director starts seeing a movie, they can't watch a movie like the rest of us can ever again. But it makes it more interesting because at the very least, they're kind of looking at the mechanics of life. That's what's happening here on self-help, yeah? So that's the second thing. First off, it's good that you're sitting there saying, I'm not applying this in my life. Second off, because that means that you will start applying some of it. Second off, you can't apply all of it anyway, so just be fine with that fact and accept that that is far better than the alternative of not even knowing what you're not applying in the first place. And then the third thing is, I challenge you on that. I think that you are. If you've been watching this channel for years, there is no way that you're not applying some of these tips. There's no way. You're doing some of them, and you should be patting yourself on the back and identifying them, because when you do, what happens? Your brain says, oh, actually, yes, I am. And instead of just sitting there, blocking out everything that is coming your way of, yeah, that's a good idea, but I'm not going to apply it. Yeah, that's a good idea, but I'm not going to apply it. I never apply it. Instead, you're thinking, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not applying it at the moment, but I do apply some of it. And so this is just what happens for the rest of my life now. It's just I sit there thinking, fuck, I'm not applying all these things. But you are applying some of them, and that is better. The fourth thing, and this is the really, really important part. Are you writing down these notes? I hope you are. I hope you're also coming to my seminars, and I hope that you're also signing up to Jordan Shanks for an extra 3 videos like this, where I can sit there and talk about how much you're fucking up in life, so that sometimes, in very small circumstances, you go, ah, and take the right course of action, and then you just get a little bit better. That's pretty much all that you can aim for in life, worm. So make sure that you sign up for that. Yes, now, back to the question at hand. Go to my seminars in Sydney. I don't care where you're from. If you're from Iceland, no excuse. Find a way. The fourth thing is, and I think that Louis C.K. summed this up, and if anybody can help me out with this, I remember that there was this 19th century word, and the word was about describing, because this is when the echelon stages of it, I suppose, when self-improvement started to get back in fashion again. It's always there, and it always goes back and forth. I mean, really, what is philosophy, ancient philosophy, really? It's just self-help. What's Stoicism? Self-help. It keeps coming back. But it was back in the Victorian era, and they came up with a word for somebody who spends their entire life improving for no purpose. And I think Louis C.K. was getting at that point. He was describing it to Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan, as always, was just like, oh my God, how cool is it that people go in ice baths? They found out that if you're in an ice bath at a certain degree, you have dopamine. This is self-help in a nutshell in the 2020s, isn't it? It's just like, be a boss, bitch. Go boss. That's for girls. And then guys, every time is ice bath. Dopamine. But he was talking about that. And then Louis C.K. said, dude, that's someone that just doesn't live in the world. And this has nothing to do with the fact that he's rich. I'm not making fun of him for being rich. I'm just saying that that man has his life so sorted that he's sitting there trying to figure out the right temperature to be like, oh, do I feel a little bit better in this? What about this? He's just living in this weird little bubble where he's not really interacting with the world anymore. He's just so insulated from world problems that he has to just create his own problems. Oh, that's a little bit too hot. Oh, yeah, I've got a little bit more dopamine. Yep, just 30 more seconds. Strange little abstract measurements that no one in the real world can use. And then they had this back and forth argument as to whether or not that's a good thing. Here's my spin on it, if I can just weigh in on these people that are far more successful for me for a second. But guys, here's what I think. I think that doing the ice bath and the, just, oh, I'm really hot, oh, I'm really cold, that might be important if you're a CEO or a Prime Minister and you are scheduled down to the minute. If you're Tony Robbins and you have a schedule that is like in the seconds, and like you have 3 or 4 fucking personal assistants behind you making sure that you're following it, going, yep, do that. Yes, that would be really important. It would be really important that you just at maximal brain capacity all the time. So those people do need it because they're at that level. Yeah? This is exactly the same as self-help. I want you to write this down. Self-help is an evolutionary process. The more that you achieve in life, the more that you need it. I'm amazed when I do one of my seminars how many people there are either students doing a high degree or they're professionals. And why is that? It's because professionals and people with high degrees are on a mission. They're doing something complicated with their life. They've got a path. They're set out. And so they know that the more they know about self-help, the more that they instill those principles in their head, the easier it is it's going to be for them to get there. And what's the point of getting there? So that they can go somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. There is no point, when people always say, I don't fucking need self-help, mate, that's for fucking idiot. And it's like, yeah, well, you are a trailer trash bum that just swallowed his own tooth, and that's going to be your meal for the day. So you don't need it because you're not going anywhere. This is the same with you. When a lot of these people always say, oh, I'm just not applying all of these things, you're the bored millionaire, the caricature, I suppose, of Louis C.K.'s bored millionaire saying, oh, I've run out of things to do with my life. I'm a little bit too cold now. That's you. If you have nowhere to go in life, if you have no direction, none of this is going to be useful to you. This is all basically giving you different fuels, different engine upgrades. Like you're a car going somewhere and I'm the mechanic saying, yeah, you need a turbo engine. Yep, okay, just put that in. All right, the turbo engine is just controlling your states, just your emotional state. Okay, so you need some fuel to go somewhere, mate. Yeah, okay, well, let's just figure out what motivation is. Yeah, we'll give you turbo fuel. That's all we're doing here. I mean, just a mechanic making you a better car so that you can go to your destination better. But if you are sitting there and you do not have a destination, if you just don't know where you want to go in life, why are we always saying goals is the most important part of any self-help? It's because the goal is the destination. And if you don't have the goal, nothing else matters. So, if you are one of these people that isn't applying these things, I would posit that the reason that you're not applying any of it, and I challenge you on that, I think that you are applying some of it, but if you're not applying any of it, I am going to wager that you have no goals. And if you don't, let me just qualify this for a second. You're going to say, I do have goals. Yeah, but you have impotent shit goals. It's like, I want to be the fry at KFC. You don't need that many skills to get there. If you have a really big goal in life, say you want to build the first robot that has vaginas for eyes, so you can be like, yes, they said you could never fuck someone in the eye, but here we are. If you want to do that, you're going to be needing a lot of these tools. And so you're going to be taking down copious notes. And I know this because every time I do one of these self-help seminars, you see all of these very accomplished people, much smarter than me, taking notes while I'm going, study's a good idea. And they're going, yeah, it is a good idea. They need these reminders because they're going somewhere. And if you are going somewhere, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks so that you can get more of these reminders because, let's be honest, you need them, don't you? If you have a destination in life, there's only one way to get there faster, and that's to pay me more money. Sorry, that's just how it works. You can also go to my seminars. I think that those are great because that's an immersion environment. Everybody that goes there has a great time. And while they're having a great time, what's the point? What's the point of making it fun? So that you retain the information, so that you attain the gems. Yep, so there's that. And also, no, don't click off yet. Guys, if you have some stories about people that have really fucked their life because of social media, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I think we're just going to read them out as an episode. Just to freak everyone out that could be you. Yeah? We're going to make the verbal equivalent of those guy dying of cancer on cigarette labels. Jesus, no one does that anymore. It's just all vapes, isn't it? What a world.